అవును. Hello. Good evening. Thank you, ma'am.
Things throughout. Ma'am,
Sita,
Ma'am, am
yes,
I
ma'am,
audible?
audible, pa. You may start, ma'am.
okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
Okay,
okay,
ma'am. I'm
okay.
very good. Ma'am, shall I on my camera? Shall I on my
Yes,
camera?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am, Radha, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Is it needed?
No, no. End of the session, camera, you can on it, ma'am. If you want, now means you can on it, or else you just have the screen alone, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
Because of bandwidth issue, I am going to turn off my camera now.
Okay, ma'am.
As soon as I
Then
finish
no
my.
need of camera, first of all, ma'am.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Thank
Okay,
you.
okay.
A heartful welcome to everyone to this evening session of ATAL Online Faculty Development Program on empowering society, leveraging advanced communication technology for a connected and resilient future. We are delighted to have such a passionate and engaged group of learners and professionals with us today. I'm honored to introduce our esteemed speaker for this session, N.Radha ma'am, an annual member of ISTE. She is currently working as an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Annapoorana Engineering College, Salem, with 18 years of experience. Her research interests include cloud computing, and big data analytics. She has actively contributed to Find by presenting 25 papers at national and international conferences, publishing 10 research papers in reputed journals, and securing 2 patents. Now, N. Radha ma'am will take us through the exciting topic aerial innovations, DoT's trials for 5G emerging connectivity with drones and balloons. Please join me in welcoming N. Radha ma'am to share her expertise with us. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Srija, for introducing this wonderful opportunity. I'm going to share my slide. Is it clear now? Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Is
ma'am,
it
yes,
clear,
ma'am.
ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening. All and all present here. I am Radha, Associate Professor from the Department of IT, Annapoorana Engineering College, Salem. Today, my topic is aerial innovations. Department of Telecommunications trials for 5G emergency connectivity with drones and balloons. balloons. This presentation will explore the innovative use of drones and balloons to establish 5G connectivity during communication. These are the contents to be discussed in this presentation. Further trials should be conducted by the Department of Telecommunications using these drones. And then how we are going to use drones using for 5G emergency connectivity, and how balloons are used for 5G base stations. Next, aerial connectivity, then challenges and limitations when we are using these aerial innovations to implement 5G connectivity. Then what are the researchers going under 5G aerial connectivity? And then what are the future prospects and innovations? Finally, we are going to conclude these sessions. Am I audible, ma'am?
Ma'am, yes,
Am I
ma'am.
audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You're audible, ma'am.
Okay. The introduction about our topic. In today's fast evolving digital landscape, the connectivity plays a crucial role in communication, innovation, and efficiency. 5G is the latest wireless technology which offers faster speeds, more reliable connections, and greater capacity than the previous 3G, 4G, which are not capable to adopt this type of connectivity during the emergency. Designed to connect everyone and everything, that is the main motto of 5G, in order to ensure the seamless and dependable communication across various sectors. The main key respect of this technology evolution is the use of aerial platforms such as drones and balloons to enhance connectivity. These platforms play a vital role in extending network coverage, especially in remote areas and emergency situations, in order to ensure the secure and reliable digital communication for data transferring and processing. So this presentation will explore the impact of aerial platforms in communication and how they are going to contribute the future of 5G technology. About 5G and its features. It is already I said it is a new wireless technology, and which offers faster speeds and more reliable connections and greater capacity. Previously, we have cellular networks 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G. So when compared to the previous cellular networks, the 5G has many features. Here we are going to mention very few. So it has very low intensity in terms points, not something. Nearly zero latency. While comparing 4G is having 50 minutes millisecond latency to 1 millisecond. And then in 4G, we can easily connect more than 1 million devices at a time. Then the third feature is high accuracy positioning point, that is precision, enhanced precision. So use a shorter wavelength and higher frequency for better positioning the devices in the cellular networks. So based on the very less power consumptions, the battery life of the device can be improved. So the 5G is a 5G will open new doors for the new technology for better connectivity. Importance of emergency connectivity. So emergency connectivity is crucial because it enables critical communication during the disaster situations, which allowing for first responders to coordinate efficiently, individuals to access vital information like evacuation warnings, and overall facilitates a timely and efficient response to save by providing reliable communication. So finally, reliable connectivity is very important for during the emergency situation. So at the same time, they're going to transfer and process the data in a secure and reliable digital environment. So the role of aerial platforms like drones and balloons in communication. Based on the mobility, drones and balloons can quickly reach remote areas and also inaccessible areas, which are going to provide a connectivity where it is most needed one. Flexibility. Due to flexibility, these platforms can be deployment easily and easily allowing rapid adaptation to changing the disaster scenarios. These system can be allowed to connect more, cover more areas to ensure broad coverage for emergency situation. So the scalability also high when we are using aerial platforms during the communication or in emergency situations. So what are the needs for 5G based emergency connectivity? So when we are using traditional telecommunication, so these are the following challenges occurred during disaster period. So the infrastructure can be disrupted or damaged due to natural disaster. So based on this, the areas can be isolated and hindering from the rescue efforts. So here we are going to difficult to access the network area because very limited can be access the network. So which complicate the communication efforts. Increased demand for communication services during emergency also overload with existing network, which leads to congestion and disrupted during the service of in the emergency situation. So these are the challenges we faced when we adopting traditional telecommunication system during the disaster situations. So here we are going to mention the few examples due to network failures during the disaster situations, all because of network so entire network system as well as the mobile system can be destroyed due to flood, the station will be permanently damaged, quack, and then the power grid outages caused major network nodes to fail to for cover. Receiver stations can be destroyed due to earthquake. Then wired system can be exploited due to overload condition. So these are the reasons for network failures during the disaster situations. So when we are using enabling advanced aerial connectivity like balloons and drones, these are the benefits we are achieved. First of all, high bandwidth. Because 5G offers high bandwidth capacity, which supports video streaming, data sharing, and real-time communication. So already we mentioned in the previous slide, 5G minimize the delay in data transmission, which is nothing but 0 millisecond to 1 millisecond, which is very good, uh, which is very beneficial for critical communications for first responders and emergency service providers during the disaster situations. The 5G covers wide area because the traditional network cannot be reached in the remote areas. Even though they reach only very limited area. But when we are using balloons and drones, it is going to cover entire area or almost the area coverage will be large. So the Department of Telecommunication trials. So the objective of conducting this type of trials are nothing but um, to provide the connectivity, 5G connectivity in the disaster areas, disaster affected areas. The effectiveness of this connectivity is based on the instruments, balloons and drones used in the disaster areas, as well as the communication transfer, as well as the resource allocation. So these are the few ongoing projects using balloons and drones in India by the telecommunication department in order to provide the 5G connectivity. So Reliance Jio, already we know Reliance Jio also using the 5G drone trials. So the objective of the trial is the drones are equipped to provide the connectivity in rural and disaster hit areas. So these drones network can be extended to locate the remote locations during the emergency period and also offers communication capabilities. The main key feature in the remote enabled drone is it provides high speed internet connectivity so these drones can be used for surveillance and connectivity purpose. The status of this trial is rollout in India, which targets rural area. The impact of the trial is underserved and disaster prone areas. So National Disaster Response Force drone initiatives. So the objective of this trial is to provide disaster relief things as well as the connectivity during the floods and earthquakes and landslides. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Audible.
Yes, ma'am, audible, ma'am.
Applications of this type of initiative in national disaster response forces. So first of all, it monitors the area as well as the provide the network area, that is landscape, which are in the disaster affected areas, and also providing temporary communications using drone mounted models. So these drones are used to locate the survivors as well as delivering essential supplies during the floods as well as earthquakes. So these type of initiative can be deployed in Assam floods and also assist in rescue missions. It is ongoing project. The impact of this trial is foster disaster recovery and better situational awareness using this type of initiative in the national disaster areas. So Department of Telecommunications used these drones to deliver 5G internet connectivity in the remote regions of India. So here the drones are acting as a mobile base stations where it provides high-speed connectivity because the terrestrial networks are unavailable. The aim of this trial is to provide the drones for network coverage. How effectively the drones can be used to provide network. It is under experimental stage. The potential impact of this trial is the connectivity for or to reach rural areas under India's digital India mission. The Telangana project we call as medicine from the sky. So here here this project uses drones for providing emergency communication in areas in remote villages during the emergency situation. So these areas are lacking in mobile network coverage. So this project can be combined with state government of Telangana as well as World Economic Forum, and then technology companies like Sky Air Mobility and Marut Drones. So this project can be successfully deployed and successful in many areas. The impact of this trial is the drones can be delivered very fast. Then the medical things can be given to the areas which is affected in floods. So these drones can be used as communication relays. And then these drones can be used to give the healthcare material to the remote areas. So balloons can be used in Google. So that project we here called as Google's Project Loon, which is proposed in India. This loon is used to provide the 4G connectivity in area. Even though it is not available, but it is the main idea to provide 5G connectivity in nowadays. The key feature of this project is the balloons are equipped with antennas which can be stayed in air for a couple of months, as well as covering vast areas. So initially the balloons can be targeted to cover the disaster areas and also provide the connectivity in the remote areas. When we adopt this project, they are facing the few challenges like regularity issues, including airspace clearance and frequency allocations, etc. So this project did not fully materialize in India due to these hurdles. If revived, it could be used for rural connectivity across vast areas of India. So this project is used for nowadays with some advanced methodology in order to give the 5G connectivity. ISO are using this balloon for some few experiments for using scientific research, and then using for payload testing. This is the main objective for this type of experiments conducted by the ISRO. The main application of this experiment is the balloons can be carried communication payloads to act as a temporary mobile towers, whereas the terrestrial stations are not in condition to work. It is effective for emergencies like floods, where the ground infrastructure is damaged. The status of this project is conducted in controlled environment. In disaster management in Northeast India, the drones and as well as the balloons can be used for real-time monitoring and communication purpose during the emergencies. So drones can be applied for flood affected regions to provide the aerial view for the response teams. The balloons can be served as a temporary mobile stations in order to provide the internet in the affected areas. For that purpose, we are using drones and balloons in disaster management. The status of this project is supported by the state government and disaster management agencies. The smart village initiatives. So in part of the Digital India mission, smart villages in Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh are testing drones and balloons for connectivity. They are using these aerial communications only for connectivity. So drones can be used to provide localized internet, and then balloons can be used to cover more area, whereas then terrestrial network cannot be covered. The status of this project is in early stage and then waiting for support from the Indian government and private telecom operators. So based on these trials, these are the things we are going to identify. So based on these trials, the feasibility we are going to achieve, because the trials successfully demonstrated the deploying the aerial 5G for emergency connectivity as well as providing the effectiveness and potential. The performance of these aerial connections are providing reliable and high quality communications in disaster scenarios, because it consistently provide the communication during the emergency situations. So these aerial in the aerial connectivity provide the large area. The connectivity can be provided in large areas when we are using balloons and drones. So the scalability of the aerial 5G also high. How we are going using drones in the emergency connectivity. First of all, what is meant by drone? Everyone heard about drones. It's nothing but it is autonomous aircraft which is designed to operate remotely without any pilot. Sometimes we call it as unmanned aerial vehicles. These drones can be operated autonomously or be controlled by the human operators. The drones can be used in wide range of applications and industries. So these are the parts of the drones. Drones can be equipped with front camera. Then propeller of the drones can be operated by the electric motor. The drones can be equipped with antenna, which is used to cover the remote areas. The power supply is received by the battery, which is equipped with these drones. And then these are the gears are used to landing the drones, and then blades are used to generate the used to take off and landing purpose. So these drones can be controlled by the remote areas, or some of the drones can be operated autonomously. How drones can be worked in the how drones can be worked. The drones can be worked by using the set of instructions which are programmed already in their system. Once the drones can be turned off, it scans the area and take the measurements to determine the location and altitude. So that the operator then inputs the commands into the controller, which sends signals to the drone's onboard computer. The computer processes the signals and sends the instructions to the motors, propelling the drone in the desired directions. So based on the signals and instruction, the drones can be taking off as well as taking down. And then we can fix the direction also. It is the basic functionality of the drones. So what are the most common types of drones used in India, manufactured in India? So based on the structure, the drones can be categorized into four. So the structure based one is called as single rotor drone, because these type of drones having a single rotor. So these drones are used in only few applications. So some of the drones are having the multiple rotors, 2, 3, 4, 8, likewise. So when compared to single rotor, these are the rotors can be used for some more few applications. And some of the drones are with fixed wing. And then some of the drones are combined with fixed as well as vertical land off and taking off and landing. So based on the structure, there are categories into four. Based on the size, the drones can be classified into large, which can be carries 150 kgs up to. The medium type of drones can be carried 25 kgs, not lesser than 150 kgs. Not greater than 150 kgs. Then small type of drones can be having weight of 2 kgs to 25 kgs. The micro type drones can be having 250 grams to 2 kgs. Nano type drones are available less than 250 grams. So based on the size, the drones can be classified. So the drones can be used in many areas. Based on this, we can call it as drones, mining drones, photography drones, racing drones, GPS drones, the surveillance drones, mapping drones, agricultural drones, delivery drones, weather monitoring drones, and etc. So these are the few companies available in India in order to produce drones, manufacture the drones. Paras Aerospace Private Limited, which supplies drones for military purpose, industrial and agricultural purpose. Idea Forge Technology Private Limited, which supplies drones for mapping, surveys, security and other applications. Garuda Aerospace Private Limited, which launched Drone, a quadcopter consumer camera. Australia Aerospace Limited, which produces drones for defense as well as agricultural, construction purpose and mining purpose. So these are the major drone companies available in India in order to provide the manufacture the drones for different applications and how these drones can be used in 5G emergencies. So these drones can be equipped with 5G connectivity technology, which is going to deployed in affected areas in order to establish temporary cellular networks, whereas the traditional infrastructure is damaged or unavailable. Essentially, these drones are acting as a flying cell towers, which enables the first responders and disaster relief teams to stay connected and coordinate efforts effectively. See, the drones can be acted as flying cell towers to maintain the connectivity between the affected areas and the ground station. So which can be the data can be accessed through the mobile user using the internet through the base station, which is connected in ground. So the benefits of using drones in emergency situation. So mainly it is used to establish the temporary connectivity in emergency situation. At the same time, it is going to restore the communication. So the drones can be equipped with 5G connectivity, which allows them to send information back to their base station in real time. For real-time applications, we need the information without any delay. The drones can be equipped to provide the mobile coverage in remote areas where normal telecom services are disrupted. So these drones can be used to prioritize the critical communications during the emergencies. So here we are going to showcase these few use cases of drones using the emergency situation. So drones can be used in search and rescue operations to provide the aerial view in order to locate the missing persons or victims in that disaster areas. The drones can be used in firefighting to access the footage of the fire and also identify the hotspots. The drones can be used used to deliver the essential medical things to the remote locations. So the drones can be used to quickly access the disaster areas, which is going to extend the it is used to access the access the extent of the damage to infrastructure. So the drone can be used worldwide by applications. The drones can be used for mapping and surveying applications 51%. The 15% of the drones can be used in detection purpose applications. 6% of is used for inspection purpose. The 2% of only used for photography and film industries. The 2% can be used in for delivery purpose. For other situations, we can use the drones for 24%. The majority, the drones can be used for mapping and surveying in order to restore the 5G connectivity in the emergency situation. So in worldwide in China, the drones can be used for fishery surveillance. In China government, they use drones to find out the illegal person during the fishing. Here they used CW25E type of drones in order to found the fishing boats and zoom to check out the people who are involved in illegal activities. And also these drones are equipped to zoom the ship number. These type of drones can be equipped with high resolution camera in order to capture the pictures. This type of drones can be fly up to 435 miles in 12 hours. The speed of these drones are 72 kilometers per hour. These type of drones can be used to monitor the large areas and inspecting the illegal activity in sea. So these drones can be used to detect the unauthorized access so that the fishery department can or the authorities can take the preventive measures quickly and also know the location of the area where the illegal actions can be carried. So the video can be transmitted to or delivered to the base station, which is located in cargo. In the person who is sitting in the base station can be taken immediate actions based on these images. The speed of the drone will help in monitoring these several areas at the same time. One more case study, which is these type of drones are used by the Korea government for firefighting. So in order to construct the fire breaks to suppress the low intensity fires. So the construction of the fire breaks to prevent or delay the spread of the fires in the affected remote areas. So first, in the site, the collect information about the location where the progression of the fire is. So in this figure, first the fire is identified through the emergency call. The emergency center can send the information to the on-site response drone station to set the fire. The truck can deploy the drones to identify the area where the fire is occurred. So the drones can collect the information regarding the fires and sending the pictures to the fire state location, wildfire location and directions. Next, transmitting the fight path and release the point. So based on the information collected by the drone in this project, they are going to construct the deployment model, deployment drones, which are having the fire extinguishing balls to break the fires. So based on the information, it fixes the path and then drop the balls in that desired location to suppress the fire in the remote areas. So this picture shows the fire extinguishing drones, which carries 6 fireballs at a time. Maximum the size of these balls, each ball is 1.3 kg. Maximum it carries 7.8 kg. So these types of fire extinguishing drones are used to break down the fires, low intensity fires in the remote areas. It covers almost 15 centimeter area. The drones are come up with 15.2 centimeter with weight of 1.3 kg and also cover 3 meters. The trial is conducted with two fire extinguishing drones. So based on this, the intensity of fire is break. So the main issue to deployment this type of model is the ball is rolled out when we deployment in the particular location. At the same time, it cannot be deployment in the particular location. So these are the type of issues faced when they deployment these type of fire extinguishing drones in the fire affected areas. Next, balloons. So balloons can be used to provide the aerial connectivity in the vast area regions in order to bridge the gap between the remote as well as disaster affected areas. The area covered by balloons are large when compared to drones. For that purpose, the telecommunication department can be used 5G connectivity using balloons when compared to drones. And also balloons provide durable infrastructures when to compare to drones. The balloons can be stayed up in the air up to a couple of months when compared to drones, and also offering reliable and resilient communication during the emergency situation, and also withstand all weather condition also. So when compared to ground-based infrastructure, balloons are easily deployed in with low cost. So what is balloon? Balloon, or we call it as high altitude balloons. Commonly it known as balloon balloons, which can be fly in altitude more than 24 kilometers. The balloons are made up of the cover of the balloon. That outer layer of the balloon is made up of polyethylene, normally plastic bags, and some of the size is up to tennis ground, minimum 40 to 50 kilometers. Sometimes the large balloons can be having the size up to 40 to 50 kilometers. These balloons are powered by the solar panels, which are controlled by the software available ground. In the air, these balloons are acting as a floating cell towers, which can be used to transmit the signals to the ground stations as well as the personal devices. They can be float 60,000 feet to 75,000 feet above the earth. Normally, commercial Jupiter jetliner routes above the flight routes. So they can be stay up to a couple of months or before it returned back to Earth. The balloons can be replaced every 5 months or so because of the bad condition, and also it is difficult to control due to the weather condition. Ma'am, am I audible, ma'am? Hello?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's audible, ma'am.
I think the problem occurred in my side.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Smoothly is going, ma'am.
Because it is struck, ma'am. It seems like.
No. There is slide is. Once refresh, ma'am.
Oh, it's okay, okay, ma'am. Okay. So these type of balloons can be used in disaster management for monitoring the activities as well as providing the communication and also assist the rescue and relief efforts. The balloons can be used for surveillance purpose also to produce the aerial point to the teams, rescue teams, to provide the essential materials in the emergency situation. And also this type of balloons can be used for weather forecasting. How these balloons can be acted as by base stations during the emergency situations. So these balloons can be tethered to the ground using a cable which is used to transmit the signals during the emergency. As long as that cable is fixed or stable, the balloon can be stayed in the air. So, the balloons can be used to provide large coverage area with a better line of sight than terrestrial systems. These balloons can be used to transmit the information with very low latency when compared to satellite systems, because whereas satellite systems are cost higher cost when compared to balloons. So these type balloons can provide the wide area communication coverage as well as restore the communication telecommunication networks during as well as after disaster, and also providing stable connectivity even though in bad weather condition. So sometimes the balloon can be grouping of balloons can be provide the internet connectivity to cover up the 5,000 kilometers depending upon the number of balloons in the network and their positioning. So more number of balloons can be provide to give the internet connectivity. So in the balloon based network, the first balloon can be connect get the internet via the special antenna which is available in the ground in order to get the internet. Then once the connectivity is established, then the data can be transmitted from the one balloon to another uh, and reach the end of the network balloon, and the signals are reach the ground station through the local internet. So in the balloon based network, there are multiple balloons can be deployed based on the area which is going to cover in the emergency situations. As needed, the balloons can be moved to different locations to cover the specific areas. A special newly developed balloon is called as aerostat, which is operated at higher altitudes and carried heavier communication payloads and also achieved wide area network coverage with greater stability during the trial. Next, what are the key technologies when we adopt 5G aerial connectivity? Artificial and edge computing enables the real-time data processing and decision making. So artificial intelligence optimize the 5G network by improving resource allocation and predicting the network traffic to enhance the network security. The artificial intelligence also enable real-time decision making and also reduce the latency and also improve the overall network performance, where AI-enabled drones to go beyond the simple and pre-programmed task and allowing them to take better decisions based on the real-time data. Because these type of drones can be adapt their environment to recognize objects in order to avoid the obstacles and perform the complex tasks. The AL powered with ML can be used to predict the future performance. So edge computing technology is used to reduce the latency because the data can be processed in locally, because the data can be processed in that devices, because frequently send the information to the base station to the network providers, network. The important data can be sent to the base station because the data can be filtered, processed at the local device, so that the processing time of the data can be minimized, because the real-time applications need shorter and faster transfer data from the end user to base station in order to maintain the good experience and relay in the streaming the data. So the next key technology used in 5G connectivity is MIMO and beamforming technology. MIMO is nothing but antenna technology, which is used to propagate the signals in multipath. MIMO is nothing but multiple input, multiple output, because this technology employ many antennas to propagate the single signal to multiple streams. So likewise, so thereby it maximizes the data rates and then the system capacity. So beamforming is a signal processing technique which is used to focus the particular device for transmitting the signal as well as receiving the signals. So overall, these two technology improve the signal strength as well as coverage area. So these type of aerial innovations can be integrated with the safety line, which provides backup during the emergency in remote locations. So challenges and limitations adopting these aerial platforms. Challenges of drone based based on 5G connectivity. The the battery life is very limited because it requires multiple drones are recharging the station during the emergency situation. It can't stay up maximum up to 1 hour, 12 hours. Maximum it can stay 12 hours. So the life of the battery is reduced or limited because of its nature. And also it carries very limited capacity to carry the 5G equipments. It carries very limited size of the or very less size the 5G equipment, a small size of the 5G equipment. Whereas few application required payload up to the weight of the human being. But drones are not equipped with that type of payload capacity. So the mainly the problem faced with the issues, the problem occurred due to rules and regulations issued by the airspace management. So whenever deploy the drones in sensitive areas, the deployment, the team or the particular providers will get the permission from the government of airspace management. So that is also main challenge to deploy the drones during the emergency situation. So in order to provide the 5G connectivity. Balloons. So these are the challenges faced to deploy the balloons during the 5G connectivity. So based on the weather condition, because there is a very vulnerable due to wind, storm, and other adverse weather condition, the balloons cannot be stayed up in the air for not more than 2 months, couple of months. Then maybe the stability of the balloons can be maintained by the cables, which is fixed in the ground. And also very difficult to maintain the fixed position because in the air it always roaming. So, without advanced navigation system, it's very difficult to fix the balloons in a particular position. And also the rules and regulations adapting to deploy the balloons
Radha ma'am. Kindly wait.
Ma'am, am I audible? Am I connected?
Ma'am.
Am I connected?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, screen is not visible, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Visible. Audible.
Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay,
In
visible,
anything
ma'am.
here, they published 2023. So the how the balloons are used in 5G. This project focuses mainly for feasibility of these balloons, which is used to establish the 5G connectivity during the emergency situation. These balloons can be deployed at more to cover the large areas. The advantages of this project is this type of platform can be used to cover the wide area as well as remote regions and disaster zones. When compared to drones, it gives longer operational time. When compared to satellite, it is cost effective alternative for aerial connectivity. So the mainly this project the challenge which is faced by this project is the weather condition, because the strong winds can affect the position of the balls in the wind. And also the rules and regulations to adopt to deploy the balloons in the air. So next research based on AI, artificial intelligence driven 5G aerial base stations, which is published in Springer during 2021. The main idea of this project is using the artificial intelligence to which optimize the deployment of the 5G base stations, aerial 5G base stations like drones and balloons. The main point they discussed in is how the AI-based algorithms are used to identify the best locations and also cover the maximum area. So the AI combined with ML algorithms, which is nothing but predictive analytics, used to assess the network congestion as well as relocate the resources in real time, and also predicts the future network also path of the route of the network route in the network. The AI enables autonomous flight control, ensuring the energy efficiency and longer operational times. So there are a number of predictive algorithms are available in order to access the network congestion as well as the allocate the resource based on that congestion. The future innovations. So these aerial connectivity can be integrated with ground-based 5G systems in order to give robust and comprehensive communication eco-friendly system. Integrating these two types of system can be increase the overall communication capacity, which is going to handle the high demand during the emergency situation. It ensures continuous communications in the real-time communication, even though the infrastructure is damaged or unavailable. The evolution of this AI technology allows more decision to be made autonomously without controlled by a human being in real time by using deep learning algorithms. Because nowadays the data involved in these applications very high. So massive data processing technique requires deep learning algorithms in order to in order to provide the autonomous drones in applications like cargo, transportation, agricultural, security, and mobile wireless communications. Autonomous drones can be enabled in order to provide the 5G connectivity without human interaction or commands. So because the drones are suffered by power, so if the drones are equipped with solar power, so it can be stayed in maximum 12 hours. So these type of solar powered drones can be used in many applications like agricultural, environmental monitoring, search and rescue operational, surveillance and security purpose. So, so using this type of drones, which can be reduce the carbon emissions and making the environmentally green as well as sustainable one. When we adopt solar powered drones, The following challenges are met. So the energy storage and autonomy, the capacity, the payload capacity, the maintenance and durability of the drones are very challenging when we adopt solar power drones. So finally conclude this session. So the research and advancement in drone as well as the balloon based network connectivity, 5G connectivity, highlight their immense potential for emergency situation. These technologies not only enhance network resilience but also support critical services during disasters and remote operations. As we move forward, the integration of the main technologies AI, edge computing, MIMO, and beamforming technologies, which optimize real-time processing, the delay in processing real-time data, and also optimize the network deployment of the network, and also these technologies are used to making the application more efficient and reliable one. The Department of Telecommunication trials and real world case studies serve as strong foundations for scaling the innovations in future. Thank you for your attention. I look forward to any questions or discussions. Hello, ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Real world needed thing, I think so. You full in research work you are gone through today, and it will be more helpful, I think so, ma'am. Because each and every AI technology and edge computing and cloud computing discussing for the disaster movement, we got more highlighted a point there. And someone's waiting for a query, ma'am. Just wait.
From Vellala College of Engineering and Technology. Actually, I connected for feedback, ma'am. The session was really nice, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
The
Kanaka.
session was really nice, ma'am. It gave me an idea, an eye-opening of how AI can be used in 5G technologies, and it gave me new ideas for research, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.